Yo, family, 500K Trey here, tapping in. Welcome to the Black House 500K group. If this is one of your first videos watching me, welcome, and I appreciate you for joining the group. Okay, the motto, what we live by, is 500K, which is freedom and abundance for our families, for our partners, and for the legacies we build here at Black House Management. Remember, when it comes to financial risk management, our profession is managing the downside cost of printing high side returns of money consistently. Done correctly, well, an abundance of fruit awaits us. Godspeed. All right, so what I want to get into right now is the price action that took place today on crude oil, okay, and how it was just beautiful PA. So right now we're going to back test, okay, and let's get into it. So when I start, how I trade is I need to see the value area high, the value area low, and the point of control. So I'm going to grab my tool. I'm going to grab the fixed range volume profile, okay, and I drag it from Asia high to London low, okay. Now we have our levels, okay, so this is the value area high, 61.26. We got the POC 60.95 just underneath the major key level MKO, $61 per barrel, and then we have the value area low around 60.71. Okay, this is a 75% range. Okay, so the volume that took place within 75% is what I look at. Okay, now the major key levels that I do have marked out right now on crude oil, just MKO $62 per barrel, $61.50 per barrel, $61, and $60.50 per barrel. And then we have all the way down here $6 per barrel. So right now price is just ranging in between it's $1.50 range. So from $60 and no, I apologize, it's $1 range right now, from $60.50 to $61.50. This is the current range right now that we're trading in between. All right, so let's go ahead and start New York session. So if we go ahead and push price forward, okay, first things first, what do we have? We have this 5-minute level of supply. That price came into beautifully this morning. Okay, we just mitigated that 5 minutes. That's 5-minute level of supply, and we're getting the rejection from the VWAP. Okay, we push lower. We trade back into the volume point of control. Okay, and then we sweep London low, and we basically just hit the major key level of 60.50 per barrel. All right, so we just swept London low. Okay, so that's done. Now if we go to no, I apologize, not this. Okay, so if we go to the order flow footprint, all right, so this is 5 a.m. Okay, 5 a.m. New York open. All right, New York open. Okay, we pushed into the point of control. We came back down into this triple stacked imbalance. This is the 61.17. Okay, so this was the 5-minute level of supply. Okay, as you can see, we had a huge seller, okay, right here at 61.10. all right, hit the bid for 488 contracts. It's a huge imbalance. Okay, 488 on the bid, only 142 on the offer. Okay, and this market dropped. We swept this low. Okay, and we came into the value area low. We pushed up. Okay, all right, so as you can see, buyers came back in. All right, so we had heavy selling, 271 pushing into these levels, 152. All right, the Celsius Delta, as you can see, it went from 919 down to 7084. All right, when the Celsius Delta is when the Celsius Delta is dark green, okay, so if we go over, as you can see, the darker green, all right, that's how you know buyers are very strong. Now, when the Celsius Delta is weakening, it goes from 919 to 784, that means buyers are leaving and sellers are starting to become more aggressive. However, what we have right here is we have a strong candle where all of that buying was absorbed once we swept London low and we came down into the major key level 60.50. Okay, so we pushed. Is that the right level? Am I looking at the right level? 60, 61, 60, 61. Okay, yeah. So we pushed down into here. Okay, obviously we probably came into a lot of a lot of bids. Okay, so a lot of limit orders were executed, and then we started to take the market higher. Okay, now as you can see, the Celsius Delta is continuing to rise again. So it went from 821 back to 1,000, and the Delta 37 to 319, and the ask is up, and the ask is getting big, and the ask is big. Okay, so we have basically a green stacked column right here. All right, so we come back in to another major key level, 60.95, just underneath major key level. $61 per barrel, which is the PLC. All right, and then we fall again. All right, now remember the Celsius Delta. Let me see, where was the Celsius Delta? Went back up to 1,039. Okay, but now as you can see, it's starting to weaken again. Why is it starting to weaken? Because we hit that major key level, which was the volume point of control. So right here. Okay, so we push back down into the value area low. All right, buyers step back in. Okay, we came to the point of control. All right, which is this level right here, and then aggressive selling came back into the market. Okay, and then this is where we swept right here. We swept this level, but what we really did sweep was London low. Okay, sellers really wanted London low, and they were successful in that. Okay, and we had equal bidding damn near at the bottom of this candle. Okay, so I want to show you this. So look, we had 115 contracts, 115 contracts hitting the bid. All right, trying to push this market lower. Okay, 88 contracts, 98 contracts, one. Okay, nobody was buying down here, but we had heavy buyers coming back in. All right, right after London low, and we shot this market right back up. The Celsius Delta. Okay, so we had a negative delta from negative 300, and we went positive 143, 154. Okay, we had a strong ask right here of 1,000 print. All right, okay, and then we claimed this high. Okay, once we claimed this high, that was a good position. Now so let's go ahead and push price forward. Now price was writing this. Where was it at? Let me see. Hold on. It started from London, Asia. So it was really from like right here, damn near. I think. Yeah, it was like right here. I think this is it. I believe this is how I had it. Okay. As you can see, we had this internal range liquidity trend line. Okay. So price came up, we respected it, came up, got smacked back down. We came up, respected it, had a slight reaction. We came up to mitigate this 5-minute supply, got smacked down. We came to mitigate it one more time, which lines up perfectly with the volume point of control. We got smacked down. Okay, we swept London low. All right, we swept London low. All right, as you can see, it was just a wick. It wasn't a candle closure. All right. Below, it was just a wick. We wicked it, and then we immediately took up to the upside, and you can see that right here in the order flow. Okay. All right. So once we swept London low, all right, remember all this bidding that took place, 250, but it wasn't met with any complementary order flow. All right. So sellers got really aggressive here at the bottom of this candle. That's why the point of control is at the bottom of this candle. All right. But buyers were equally aggressive. All right. So buyers and sellers were equally both aggressive. However, there wasn't enough sellers to support the move lower. And then, so they had to liquidate their positions, and buyers came in, and we shot this market all the way up. All right. So the session delta went from 500, all right, -3. So it was at a low shade of 359. Then it went to 500, 600. 600, then we got to the 900, then we went to the super dark green 1400. Okay, so we really started to get aggressive, and as you can see, we had a big buyers. Okay, big buyers came in. All right, and this is where we came 61.34. This value area high 61.27. We really got aggressive right here. Okay, because we needed to push up to sweep London high. Okay, so London high got swept at 61.34, which is just 61.34 right here, which is just above the value area high. All right, and I want to show you guys how I screenshotted this. Watch this. This is beautiful. So we were riding this internal range liquidity trend line. Okay, here on the order flow. All right, and then we fell off of a cliff. Okay, so let me show you what that looked like. All right, here in the order flow. I apologize, on the price action. Okay, so we came up. All right, we swept London high. Okay, and I thought we were going to take Asia high as well. Okay, but we weren't able to reclaim that liquidity. Okay, so 61.50 was a target that I was looking at. All right, and as you can see, buyers were really aggressive. All right, buyers were really aggressive. As you can see, we had 227 contracts trying to hit, all right, lifting the offer. All right, but it wasn't met with no complementary order flow. Okay, the next candle, so we were at a positive 1100. The session delta is super green at a print of 2.1K. All right, and then the next candle, we got aggressive. Okay, so we weren't able to push above. It wasn't enough buyers who were agreeing to push above 61.50, and sellers came in as a wall. All right, a huge firewall. That's what I like to call it. All right, buyers pushed price all the way up into a firewall of resistance and weren't able to continue the move higher, and sellers came and dominated and took over. As you can see, we have this huge, look at all this huge selling coming in. All right, 143, all right, 127, 147. Look at all the look at these bids on this candle. All right, it was only 25, 25, 41, 41, but look how they started to get really aggressive right here. All right, 143, 127, 147, 131. All right, 169 at the point of control. Okay, sellers are really getting aggressive here above the value area high. So the range was from about 61.26 to 61, let's just call it 46. So roughly a 20 tick range. Okay, sellers are still very aggressive in the point of controls. 131 on the bid. All right, 104 on the bid, 116 on the bid. Buyers keep trying to push up, but they're not strong enough because they keep hitting this firewall, all right, of resistance, and eventually they give up, and sellers dominate that exchange in the current time, and we fall. All right, now let's go and see what that looked like. So we tested the value area high. Okay, so this is where it was right here. It was right here. It was this price action right here. Right here. So this internal range liquidity trend line right here. All right. So we have two. We have this descending internal range liquidity, and then we have this ascending internal range liquidity. Okay. Now, I want to show you this snapshot that I took again. All right. So as you can see, we were riding this internal range, this ascending internal range liquidity trend line. Every time we hit it, we took up. We hit it, we bounced up. We came, sellers pushed back into it, we bounced up. All right. Then we broke it. We came to retest. We fell off of a cliff, and then we reclaimed it. Okay. We reclaimed it. Oh, I'm tripping. I'm big tripping. Oh, I'm big tripping. I'm big tripping. That was on gold. That wasn't even crude oil. I'm big tripping right now. What am I talking about? All right. Anyways, this is still a trend line either way. Okay. All right. So right now we're at this trend line. Okay. And then we break it. All right. We broke this trend line. All right. Now let's see if where's the entry at. Okay. So let's drop down to the 1 minute. That was some goofy shit that I did right there. Okay. So we have this level of resistance right here. We're gonna call that a minor SNR. Okay. And then we have this level right here. That will line up perfectly. 30, 32, 42. That will line up perfectly. So 1 minute sub X level. Okay. Why? So look, we came down. So we pushed up. Buyers went aggressive enough to break major key level 6150. We pushed down back into the value area high. We pushed back up. All right. Sellers came back, push price down. Buyers tried to buy it back up again. We were met with remember, we keep hitting this firewall. All right. So we hit this firewall of resistance again. Then we push down. All right. Now this could be a good level. So just imagine if you were to sell it from right here. Let's just see if we can get it. All right. And gives ourselves, let's just say, a 15 tick stop. All right. Let's see if we can come back down. Let's see what she'll give us. Let's see. Where are we at? We're in time right now. It's only 9 o'clock. All right, let's see. Boom, we got the tag. All right, so we've officially been tagged in. As you can see, price came into that limit right there. Price came into that limit. All right. All right. Boom. Now price is falling. Okay. It took a little minute, but price is now falling. Okay, and we are currently about 2 points. No, I apologize. We're almost 2R in profit. Boom. TP hit. TP hit. All right, now let's go ahead. Let's just say we had a trailing stop. Look at that. Price fell off of a cliff. Price fell off of a cliff. I would have already closed out. I ain't gonna lie. I already closed out because we came to hit this. All right, so boom. Let's just call it 50 points. 50 points would have gave you 3.3 R. We would have got hit already. We would have been tagged out. We would have got TP would have been hit. All right. So that is the price action on crude oil. All right. Beautiful price action here on crude oil. And we could have even, all right, beautiful price action here on crude oil. All right, if you would have gave yourself 50 ticks, all right, which is targeting, right, and we targeted this descending internal range liquidity trend line, all right, 50 ticks, that would have gave you a risk reward ratio of 3.3 R made. Beautiful trade. All right, beautiful price action here. All right, and then you can even see it here on the order flow footprint. All right, you can even see it here. All right, so we were here this morning, right? And then price fell. Price fell, came all the way down to 61.15. 61.15, and you could have took this level. This would have been a good, okay, so once this low broke, okay, 61.25, okay, this was the last level of supply right here. You could have used that level of supply. Okay, go ahead and mark it out. Let's call this a supply zone. All right, and then where is it at? Let's go ahead and do a short position. Let's just say you would have got in right here. Okay, you give yourself 15 points. All right, and then give yourself 50 ticks for a target, right? 50 ticks for a target. All right, so you would have got the tag in right here. You would have got tagged in right here on this level of supply, and then boom, price drops. You would have got hit. TP hit 3.3 R right there. And you can see, right now, let's go into the order flow. All right, let's read it. Okay, so it was only 116, very aggressive. 116, 107, 118. So they are really pushing this. All right, they're pushing this, and then you can even see it. All right, you can see it. So now look, the session delta, remember the session delta was at 2K. Remember, at 2K, the session delta was at 2K. This is basically the CVD. How strong is the volume? All right, how strong is the volume between buyers and sellers, the net difference? Okay, no, the delta is the net difference between aggressive buyers and sellers. Hope I'm correct on that. But the CVD is the volume behind the buyers and the sellers over the whole session. Okay, so as you can see, when we pushed up into the major key level, when we tried to hit 6150, the session delta was at 2161. So let's just call it 2K. All right, then it dropped to 1800, 1700, 1600. All right, this is where when we came down. We came down to test the value area low. We pushed back up, okay, and we were unsuccessful, okay. There was no complementary order flow in breaking the high at 6150, okay, and then we officially broke that low at 6125, all right. And as you can see, sellers are starting to get more aggressive, okay. So when we broke that low right here, that was at a negative delta of 268. Now the session delta is getting weaker. Remember I said if the session delta is getting weaker and it was super dark green, that means buyers are losing their strength and sellers are starting to gain strength. Okay, so when we bought back up into this level of supply, we could have used 15 ticks. I usually average 10 to 15 ticks on crude oil. And as you can see, we went from 1300, 1300, 1200, 1300, 1100. Now we're only at 1,000. Okay, we're only at 1,000. Now we're in the 900s. Boom. And then we just immediately lost all volume for buyers. 660. All right. 300. Negative 14. So right here in this candle, all the buying pressure was gone. They were gone. And we came down to retest that value area low. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and drop it. I'm going to go ahead and end it right there. All right. If you haven't already, please follow me here on Telegram. All right, this is the Black House 500K group, and we trade futures, crude oil, which is our secondary asset, and we trade gold, which is our primary asset. All right, so from me to you, shalom ala kahim, which means peace be upon you, and I hope everybody has a good day. Blessings. 500K trade, we out.